Yesterday, oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday.
Welcome, friends. Welcome, family. Today we are here to remember Pavlo Maksuitenko. Pavlo was born on March 14, 1979, in Gluko, Ukraine, Sumatsko Oblast. He graduated from Kiev Polytechnic University with physics degree. He received his PhD in Lausanne, Switzerland, and after his PhD, he was offered a job in Hawaii in Manoa University, where he met Marina. Later on, they both moved to Boston to pursue Pablo's postdoctoral program as a researcher. We remember Pablo as a friend, as a colleague, as a son, as a husband, and we have fond memories of him throughout. And we have several friends from across the world and colleagues from across the world, which just shows you how much Pablo influenced and touched people's lives wherever he went. So we have a few friends who want to say a couple of things, and they are here with us through Zoom. We'll start with Marco, his friend who spent time in Hawaii with him, who wishes to say a few words.
Yeah, hello. I'm Marco. Thank you for letting me say a few things about Pavlo. And thank you, Katja, for organizing. I met Pavlo in August 2018 when he joined the research group I was also working in. And the first thing I remember about him was the talk he gave to introduce himself to the group in our weekly Monday seminar. And yeah, it was funny because he broke a few traditions and broke a few rules with his first talk, which shows a few of his characteristics. Usually you give a talk about your research, but Pavlo decided to give a talk about a machine he's going to invent, which was a machine to make diamonds. It was unusual in many ways and remarkable because, as I mentioned, there's many things about him which could be seen from this talk. For one, this machine was complicated and he loved to work on it because he was an inventor. He was a tinkerer. He was an amazing experimentalist. He was very gifted in understanding and disassembling machines and always strive to make them better and to improve them. And this really made him work. Second, even though this machine was made to make diamonds, which could be a commercial success, he was very, very happy, and it was very important to him to share his knowledge, to talk about it, to discuss it, and this way to improve it. So it was not important for him to build something in order to make money. It was always important for him to develop and to build and to make. And also important for him to share his knowledge. And I remember he taught me so many things in the lab that up to now, I often think, how would Pavlo do that now? And this helps me to align a laser, to align optics, and to deal with things in the lab. Certainly, he was always busy. And he started this machine, I think, while he was in Ukraine, waiting to move to Hawaii. And he was not sitting around, but he actually tried a way to find and deal with the situation by building something. And I think this is something which goes through his life, that no matter what life threw at him and what happened to him, he always tried to find ways of dealing with this by making something and by developing some new ways out of this. Yeah. And fourth, by giving this talk, he showed not only his humor, but also it was supposed to be a talk which is relevant for the group and for his principal investigator. But by giving this talk about his main project he had in this stage of his life, he showed that he knows where his priorities are, and this is always something that he cares for. And this is, yeah, he had a self-esteem and the will to decide always what is important for him and what is relevant. And no matter what people around him would say, he would go his way and he would make sure that things work correctly, that they're done a certain way he would think appropriate and necessary. And he wouldn't talk about standard operating procedures and certain ways of doing things because he do them a certain way. He would do it because he thinks they're right, and this is the way he thinks is the best way to do it. So there was no nonsense with Pavlo, and this is something I learned from him also. And every time there is a problem at work or in life, I also always ask myself, is this the right thing to do? And will Pavlo do it? For example. Yeah. Anyways, some of you might know that the work environment in Hawaii was tough. It was harsh, sometimes even hostile. And for me, without Pavlo, it would have been much, much harder. This is because he was a very dependable, helpful, and patient colleague. He would always be around. If you asked for help in really bad situations, under lots of stress, Pavlo, could you assist me? He would always be there. And I really liked that about him. Yeah. But it's not only about work. there is more to life, and this is maybe more important to Pavlo. I remember our daily lunch breaks, which became an institution up to a point where the grad students and the undergrad students actually requested to have a lunch break with Pavlo, because they were a big source of not enlightenment, but a big source of enjoyment and of meaning. And the reason is because Pavlo actually during lunch break insisted that we do not talk about work, we do not talk about work-related problems, that we don't talk about our boss, that we don't complain, but he insisted to talk about important things in life. And important things in life for him were politics, food, his crazy ideas, which went all over the place, his family, and of course, what to do on the weekend. I remember he always brought a lunchbox. He often brought a lunchbox to work, and Marinka and Pavlo liked to cook together, and Pavlo brought meatballs and potatoes, mashed potatoes. He often brought borscht, but white. I don't know what the name is. It's cream, and he brought dumplings. And he liked cooking, and he also often ate pizza at Paradise Palms, but he didn't really like the pizza. And he only always ate half of it. He wasn't a good eater, I think. Yeah, except chocolate. I remember during lunch, he always sat there being quiet as he is, and he was often chuckling, and he was smiling and enjoying himself, especially if there were heated discussions, the people were laughing, having fun, talking about politics. And the more heated the discussions were, the more happy Pavlo would be, and he would enjoy that a lot. I think one day he told me that he is really happy when he is around extroverted people. I don't know, because he doesn't like to talk much, or I think he just enjoyed company. Some people say he's shy, but I think he's maybe quiet. Anyway, I think the reason for his great relationship with Marinka was also because he liked extroverted people. Yeah, I remember a party we had at his place. I think it was Marinka's birthday, I'm not sure. We were MJ and me and someone else, I think Alex, we were stomping and marching around the flat to terrible techno music, and Marinka was egging us on, and everyone was laughing their heads off. And Pavlo was sitting on this nice white couch, and he was smiling and happy, and he was approving. He was happy, and he was seeing the situation and looking at Pavlo. You know that it was him who made this place warm and welcoming and like a home. And this was a really nice thing about him. Yeah, he was a very warm person. But this was not, this was not the only side of him. Yeah? And he had many other sides. I know he was a very proud person. He was very patriotic. He could get very angry and he could get very emotional. Yeah, I remember he was always very proud to be Ukrainian. There is an email he wrote to me. I looked through my emails, and he sent me an email about his mom visiting him in Honolulu, and they went to an art show, and there was a painting from Van Gogh, and he proudly told me how it looks like the Ukrainian flag. He was proud of his name. I don't know how many times he told me his name is Pavlo and not Pavlo. And every time I pronounced it correctly and I said Pavlo, he would chuckle and he would put his chest out and nod at me and smile and approve, and in his way of saying, yes, it's me, Pavlo. And he was a proud man. When it came to the Russian occupation of parts of Ukraine, he was angry, he was upset, he was disturbed, and very emotional. But he channeled his energy and his emotions into, again, trying to make something and to produce and to develop something. And remember, we discussed surveillance drones and electrical helicopters and certain ways of supporting the people in Ukraine. And his way of dealing with this conflict was to, even though he was angry, to generate new things. And this is, I think, a really nice way of dealing with this world. He was not destructive, but he was constructive, no matter how disturbed he was. Of course, Pavlo was also a very caring person. During our time in Hawaii, his father was sick of cancer, and his father was in lots of pain. And Pavlo was very troubled by this. And I remember our lunch breaks became more quiet. And I also remember that Pavlo brought lunch boxes to the lunch breaks more frequently, because he supported not only his family in Hawaii, but also his family in Ukraine and the medical bills. And on top of this, again, he found ways of working and dealing with the situation by building a greenhouse in his parents' house in Ukraine from around the world to produce medicinal plants that help ease his father's pain and maybe even help him with his illness. And I remember we discussed UV radiation and humidification systems and things like this in order to support his family. And again, this was a way for him to deal with the situation of, again, making something and to get into control. After his father died, he supported his mother, and he was very, very happy when Valentina managed to go to Hawaii and visit him. He was very proud that she managed to change planes, which she was afraid of, and he sent me pictures of them visiting the zoo. And I know right now he was also supporting. Of course, Pavlo also loved to enjoy himself. He had a lot of really nice and fun times in Hawaii. I remember surfing in White Plains with MJ and Nikita and Marinka and my wife Leslie on Brand's surfboards. I remember snorkeling with Pavlo and playing tennis with Pavlo and Marinka. I remember playing volleyball with him. He was very sporty, and he enjoyed being outside, and he enjoyed the sun, and he enjoyed life a lot. Of course, Pavlo also had faults. I'm, for example, still amazed that he ever managed to get his driver's license. One day he asked me to drive around the place where they make the driver's test. This was shortly after I made my driver's license in Hawaii, and he still had to make his driver's license. And I tell you, I was never so scared in a car in my life. He passed 6, 7 red lights without noticing it, and up to a point where I told him to stop and not drive anymore. I think he didn't see them. He was looking in the clouds, or he was looking at people. I don't know. Anyway, he managed to get the driver's license, which still amazes me. So, what remains of Pavlo? Well, many things I cannot judge, many things I cannot see, of course. Our time together was short, but I know he leaves a huge void for his wife and for his mother that can never be filled. This makes me very sad. To the world, Pavlo leaves a lot more. He leaves over 40 publications, which have been cited more than 700 times already. And as long as people do science, they will always see and remember Pavlo's name, because he's there, he's in the record, and he was so lucky as a scientist to be able to contribute to this world. Yeah. And for me personally, I keep a few gray hair from his bad driving. I will always remember Pavlo for his kindness, for his incredible selflessness. I remember his wise chuckles and his ability to value the important things in life. I will remember him whenever I hear the Ukrainian anthem. I remember him when I eat Gruyere. I remember him when I eat Swiss chocolate, and I remember him at work every day when I align on exit. Thank you very much, Pavlo. Thank you very much, Pavlo.
Pavlo lives through all of us. Thank you. Also, his mentor and his PI, Dr. Karen Ober, would like to say a few words.
Thank you. So my name is Karen Ober. I'm a professor of astrophysics at Harvard, and during the past 3 years, I was blessed to have Pavlo work with me in my lab. During this time, Pavlo had a profound impact on the whole lab group and on me as well. I don't have words to express how sorry I am that he's gone. And I'm here also representing all the students, the postdocs, the staff, and the faculty that were lucky to have known Pavlo when he worked with us. And I bring special condolences from all the members of the astrochemistry lab group, many who are joining us via Zoom, from the chair of the astronomy department, Professor Daniel Eisenstein, and from the Dean of Science, Professor Chris Stubbs. So I first got to know Pavlo 4 years ago when he reached out to me about joining my lab group. I was so excited when he did. I've been looking for some time for a laser physicist who had the expertise needed to build the best and coolest experiment in astrochemistry. And I'd heard that Pavlo was the most amazing person for this, not just here locally, but really worldwide in our field. And I was really thrilled when Pavlo applied for the position. And of course, even happier when he decided, together with Marina, to leave the warm and sunny Hawaii for the slightly less warm and sunny Cambridge. Simply arrival, Pavlo immediately began designing what was to become the most advanced experiment in our field. I was absolutely astonished at the number of inventions and clever design choices that Pavlo just kept throwing at this project. I think we heard a similar thing from Marco, that Pavlo's technical and scientific expertise were just amazing. And Pavlo would really leave no stone unturned in his quest to build the best possible instrument to answer the kind of questions that we were interested in. He was really determined to build an instrument that could uncover new truths about the chemistry in space and how chemistry and how does chemistry affect the likelihood of finding life on other planets. He applied his brilliant mind with a passion for excellence, which inspired all of the rest of the group to just do a little bit better than we otherwise would. But my first few months with Pavlo revealed something for me even more important than his brilliance and steadfast quest for excellence. They revealed his kindness. Pavlo was one of the kindest and most generous people I have ever met, inside or outside of science. When the next couple of postdocs arrived in our group, Pavlo was the one that went out of his way to make them feel welcome. When a student visited us for a few months from another university, Pavlo was there to help her with every aspect of her research. When she later applied herself for postdoc positions, Pavlo generously guided her through the process and led her to success. When an undergraduate student thought Pavlo's new experiment was really cool, then Pavlo took a full day to just show her how it worked, and he made it fun for her to learn about it. Indeed, I think Pavlo's sense of humor is one of the things that all the lab group members asked me to especially mention. It's something I miss very much as well. Though I think most of all what I miss is his generosity. His generosity with his time and with his creativity, which was just out of this world. So what is amazing is that while Pavlo seemed to spend half his time just helping others, he was simultaneously building this amazing new experiment, which he, together with the rest of the group, named Space Tiger. The name was chosen both by Pavlo and the students to signify the power of this new experiment to explore space. I was initially perhaps a little bit less convinced that this was an appropriate name for a serious scientific experiment, but Pavlo's right sense of humor charmed me into accepting it. Space Tiger became fully operational earlier this year. And up until his surgery, Pavlo worked tirelessly on the scientific paper that would have revealed to the world the construction of this beautiful experiment. He also worked in the same paper on describing experiments that were providing answers to astrochemical mysteries that we had been pondering for a long time. I think to our group, it seems especially cruel that Pavlo didn't get the chance to complete his paper on Space Tiger that he had worked on for so long. But the whole group, and me included, of course, are completely committed to finish the paper for Pavlo and to have it published under his name as soon as we possibly can. It is really impossible to find the words to express the loss that I and my lab group now feel. I miss him myself so very much, and it's the little things. It's our discussions about how to make proper European bread and where to find the proper yeast to make it. The little jokes that made the very hard work that we were all trying to do in the lab that much more enjoyable. And I still find it difficult to believe that he's really gone. But I can't and I don't despair. The Pavlo I knew in life was on a passionate quest for excellence and for truth, and he always carried out this quest with extraordinary kindness. I believe that this quest of his will continue in the next world, and that he at the end of it will find the source of the excellence, the source of the truth, and the source of the kindness that he exemplified in this life, and there come to rest in the arms of God. Thank you, Pavlo, for letting me share a little bit of your life this past few years. It truly made all our lives that much better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for those words. Also, his colleague Mahesh Rajapan will also give a few words.
My name is Mahesh Rajapan. I am a research associate and a close colleague of Pavlo at the Oberg Research Laboratory at Harvard. I am here to honor Pavlo, who left us suddenly and shockingly. I knew Pavlo ever since he joined our lab almost 4 years ago. Marco and Karan has talked a lot about his personality and he as a researcher. He was a wonderful person as much as a research experimental scientist. Nothing was more important to him than the people around him, close to him. And next, the lab and the space tiger, the more complex experimental setup he designed and built. Working with him has been a pleasure and many times a learning experience. At a personal level, we both knew each other's weaknesses and accepted each other and encouraged each other to do our best. I do not want to say goodbye to my friend and colleague, Pavlo. You will remain in our hearts as an immense source of inspiration. Thank you, Pavlo.
We also have Brent, his friend from Hawaii, who also has a few words to say.
Yeah, hello. One of the first times I hung out with Pablo outside of work, actually, we were just grilling and having fun on the beach, and Pablo ended up getting into this pull-up competition with one of the rock climbers in the group, and he ended up beating the guy. And I remember thinking, okay, great. Now we have an arrogant jock in the group. But the more I got to know Pablo, the more I realized just how wrong I really was. And this has been kind of highlighted in the previous memories that people have shared of Pablo. I remember one time when I was talking to him on the phone after he joined the group in Boston. One of the first things he did was tell me about this issue that he was having with this cryo head. For the research that they're doing, they need to get down to these really cold temperatures, and their system was getting down to, I think, like 10 Kelvin or something like that. And for most people, it would have been perfectly acceptable. However, Pablo was so compassionate and just diligent about his science that he knew it could get better. So he just spent weeks researching and analyzing and designing the system so that it could get down to a final temperature. And I remember he was just kind of annoyed that his calculations were showing that it should get down to like 4 Kelvin, and instead he was only getting down to 5.5 Kelvin or something like that. But that just goes to show how how compassionate he really was. You know, my time in Hawaii is not remembered positively because of the beaches and the sunshine. It's remembered positively because of my experiences with Pablo. Every time that we'd go to his house, there's always wine and pizza and good conversations. Pablo would talk to us about anything and everything. And I learned so much from him. And I will always be forever grateful of these experiences and these memories. And I will miss him terribly. Thank you.
We have a presentation that commemorates Pavlo's life. Then after the presentation, we will, if you want to give, if you want to kind of give your condolences to Marina, and then we'll have lunch afterwards for those who will be joining us for lunch at the Ukrainian church.
If anyone else wants to say something.
Yeah.
Ask if anyone else.
Would anybody else like to say something here?
In the Zoom.
In the Zoom as well. Okay, let's move to the presentation. If you would like, let us know or put it in the chat, and we can take a moment. Thank you all for coming here today and joining us in remembering Pavlo. And please, if you want to say your goodbyes, please feel to do so right now. If you want to give your condolences to Marina, she's you're welcome here. Thank you all.
Yeah, mom is on
Yeah.
Zoom. His mom is on Zoom as well.
Yeah, and his mother is also on Zoom. If you want to say words to her as well.
So I don't know where to start with Pavlo. I actually first met him through, I'm Mike, by the way. I met Pavlo when he first came to Hawaii. Quite a while ago now, I guess. I guess we met through Craigslist. I had a room I was trying to rent. It was near UH. It's interesting, when I first met Pavlo, I wouldn't have thought that we'd become so close. He very reserved. He kind of looked like maybe he just wanted to stay to himself, and yet he actually became very involved with me and all the roommates, and in just this, I don't know, the quiet, sort of unique way that he had about him. I think that everyone here probably can relate to, and yet it's hard to describe. I mean, Pavlo was just, I wouldn't say he was shy. He was just, because he had a confidence to him. And at some points he might have seemed like he was reserved, and yet he had so much warmth to him. And so he quickly became a part of my life, and he would move away, and lost touch for a little bit, but every now and then he'd check in with me, and it was the same way every time you see Pavlo. It's just this warmth and acceptance. It's feeling like you could always reach out to him. That he'd always be a friend. He eventually moved to Boston, and that was actually kind of lucky for me in that I'm from Boston, and so every time I would go home, I'd see him. And I don't know how to accept the idea that next time I go home, I won't be able to see him. Because it's like, felt like even when you didn't see him for a while, like I said, he'd always be there. And I guess now he won't. I don't know what else to say, but it's just, I don't know how. It's just going to leave a big hole. And I think his loss is just going to be one of these quiet losses now. That whenever I think, I know that there'll be these times when I'll just want to speak to Pavlo or want to see Pavlo. I don't know what to do with that now. 'cause it felt like he'd always be there, because he always was. I'll miss you, Pavlo.
Слушай, наверное, не может говорить Павел.
Ну да. Да.
Maybe, что, возможно, кто-то не понимает английского. Сейчас есть возможность сказать несколько слов, высказаться. Если кто-то хочет, скажите, пожалуйста. Мы включим.
Я могу говорить? Мне очень повезло, что Павлик был моим сыном. Он был очень хорошим сыном, очень добрым и очень заботливым. Он очень любил свою семью. Он всегда заботился обо мне. Никогда не забывал позвонить, узнать, как я, как наша родня, как все и близкие, и дальние родственники. Его сердце было огромным, и его сердце любило всех. Его сердце любило весь мир, жизнь. Его сердце не выдержало. Сердце стало причиной его ухода. Я не могу в это поверить. Ты всегда будешь для меня живой, мой сыночек, мой ангелочек. Ты всегда живешь в моем сердце. Спасибо. Мальчик мой родной, мальчик мой золотой.
Pavlo responses. We can do that now. And then cancel with the lunch. Right?
Where?
Yeah.
146 Forest Hills.
146 Forest Hill.
Hills, yeah.
Hills at 12 or when?
Right after, yeah.
Right
we're
after.
going to
We'll do it.
I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, and I used to be, there's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
Shall